So let's talk about accountability. Not just accountability, but emotional manipulation, being somebody's emotional garbage can, and just all things that don't serve self. And at some point, at some age, we have to learn how to properly serve self. A lot of people, are selfish and it's ugly and it's funky, in their selfishness because they literally only think of themselves all day, every day. They don't care who they step on, who they hurt, who they discard, who they use. And there's a difference from being selfish in the fact that I need to put me first in this. I need to make sure that I'm okay. I need to make sure that my family, is okay. And when I say family, sometimes we have to streamline that a little bit. Let me make sure that my immediate family is okay. Let me make sure that my spouse and my children are okay. And then if I can reach out to sisters, parents, cousins, nieces, nephews, all that jazz. But I had a conversation over the weekend with one of my cousins that lives in Florida. And it was a super all over the place, random ish conversation. Because if you've ever had a conversation with me, A, I can talk you down. But B, I'm going to talk about everything. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything. I am transparent. Like, this is me. But in talking with my cousin, telling her, some things, she said something that kind of like busted me upside the head. And she was just like, that's that emotional manipulation. And it took me back to something that her dad said to me in 2005. So my uncle was in town for my baby brother's funeral, and he had to get back to the airport. I was taking him to the airport. And I was excited because, that's my uncle. And we didn't get to see him often. And so in taking him to the airport, I had to make a stop by my parents' house so that I could drop my parents off a pack of cigarettes. And I know my uncle, like, in his head, this is what I think he's thinking. He's like, if this girl make me late to this little bitty airport, like, we're going to have a problem. I knew I should have caught a cab. But, like, I really am trying to steal this time with him. Because he has this real cool, chill, and calm aura about him that it really intrigues me, and it makes me want to spend a little more time with him and know a little bit more about him. But at the same time, I don't want to overstep. But so I pull up to my parents' house, run the cigarettes in, come back outside. And he says, "Do you smoke?" And I said, "Well, no, sir." He said, "So why was it your responsibility to buy cigarettes?" Because that's what they've kind of beat in my head that I was supposed to do. Like, I'm supposed to be the one that fixes, if there's a need, I'm supposed to do what I can to fill that need, because I'm doing a disservice to my family if I don't. And it took my uncle saying, there's a difference between helping and enabling. Say, what now? And he said, would they have figured out another way to get the cigarettes if you hadn't got them? Well, yes, sir. And so now I'm mind blown, and I feel stupid and played and used. But he said it in such a chill manner, I couldn't be mad at nobody but me. Because I felt like if I did not do this for X person, then I guess the world was going to end. But then it was realizing that I really didn't want to do it in the first place. Or maybe I didn't even have the funds to do said thing. And of course, it's bigger than just a pack of cigarettes, because it's been bigger than just that over the years. But I heard it and I took it to heart, but I still allowed myself to ignore it. And then in about 2010, we went to church in Oklahoma City, and Pastor Coleman was preaching about emotional garbage cans. And I realized yet again, I had myself so routinely in a place where I allowed everybody to dump on me, knowing that I couldn't dump my emotions on them, knowing that I couldn't talk to them about what my emotions were, knowing that I was now going to stress out about their stuff on top of my stuff, on top of, Susie's and Sally's and, Quincy's stuff. I don't know Susie, Sally, or Quincy, but I'm saying. And I realized I lived so long in the vein of allowing myself to be manipulated emotionally, it became normal. And it wasn't until I had adult children that were being emotionally manipulated by other people that I realized, oh crap. So my adult children will tell you, like I will be quick to say, you don't want to be my age just now trying to shake out of whatever that manipulation is. You need to stop letting people take advantage of you. You need to stop letting people manipulate you. And at what point does one have accountability for their decisions and their actions and it not be the fault of somebody else? They say hurt people hurt people. Well, I mean, it's 2022. I'm over that saying, because hurt people should go to therapy. They should seek help. They should heal. If therapy ain't your thing, you got a pastor, you have a spiritual advisor, you have a best friend, you have a spouse. Talk to somebody and figure that thing out, because your hurt can no longer affect me in that I allow myself to shut down. It was 2014. I was complaining about something that I had to do for somebody. I'm talking about like big mad. Like my heart wasn't happy. My heart wasn't in it. Because I used to say, well, as long as I do it, with a good heart, then it really doesn't matter what my head says. But it took my husband looking me in my face as I told him, I really don't want to do this, for him to say, you could say no, right? No. I didn't know that I was allowed to say no. I didn't know that that was a thing. I thought I had to say, yeah, because if my family was asking me something, they wouldn't put me in a position that would hurt me, right? So when I first was preparing myself on the journey of no, I had to ask myself if I was going to be blocking my blessings because I said no. Because if somebody said, hey, do you have XYZ amount of dollars? And I said no, was I then telling God that A, I was lying, so I'm wrong, but B, was I then saying that or making it seem as though that I didn't deserve to have, because I was telling other people that I didn't have it? Like, was I putting that in the atmosphere? The power of life and death lies in the tongue. So was I then saying that I didn't deserve, or I didn't want to have the financial, or even the peace that I wanted, because I was lying about not having it? And I realized that if Sarah said, can I borrow $50? And I said, no, I don't have it. It wasn't because I didn't physically have it. It was because I did not have it to give to Sarah or let Sarah borrow, when I knew and Sarah knew that she wasn't going to pay it back. Again, don't know a Sarah, but I'm saying. So at what point does one's priorities that they chose to make an option then make it a priority for me and my funds to cover your responsibility? Let's not be that person. Let's not continue to facilitate that. Let's literally figure out a way to put us first. In that, I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my household. I'm protecting my husband. I'm protecting my children. And if I can still help Sarah after all of that stuff is done, great. But if I can't, then I just can't. And I used to feel so bad and so guilty, so much so that I would make myself sick or I'd have a migraine. And now I'm mad at me. Because for what? Girl, if you don't get your big head ass on over here and sit down and be okay with not being able to fix everybody's problems. But that's my problem because I'm a fixer. My mama was a fixer. I want to fix it. I want to make it better. I just want to, I want it to be okay. But I can't fix everybody's issues just like everybody can't fix mine. So I had to find accountability in myself, because how am I mad at you that I'm stressed out about your issues when I took your issues on and I know that I shouldn't have? What issues are you taking on for somebody else that you don't need to have? In what ways are you enabling people instead of actually helping them? Because what are they actually learning if you just gonna get up and do it? In what ways do you need to be more selfish for you to make sure that you're straight above all else?